There's,
You were all dead ready.
this is our Wednesday channeling. I guess this is number 46, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And Alva is speaking tonight. And he wrote so many beautiful things on the paper that I thought should share them with you. His topic is love, with a capital L. Let us speak of love, divine love, God's love. His love feeds your soul. His love sustains you and the life force that flows through you and maintains your being. It is from the heart of God that His love springs forth, continually creating and recreating the life of all life. When you go aside from the world to be quiet within yourself, think of His love for you and all His creations that are of form or that are formless. Let His love spring from your heart, a fountain of His beauty and glory, to nourish all those who know not of His love, all those who are new in their understanding of the deeper wonder of the sustaining force of that is. As we move into a greater height of consciousness, we discover more of the grandeur of His love, and if we give thought in pureness to our Father, we begin to experience His love within ourselves, in others, nature, and all that we behold, for there is no other. To experience His love is to know the depth and breadth of life that cannot be measured by any standards of our physical plane. You can know the greatness of His love by truly knowing yourself. To truly know yourself is to know God and His love. To know yourself in truth is to release all that you are to His love. This means to release the physical illusion that man has used his free will to pollute this plane with. To be in the world but not of it means to recognize the illusions of this plane, but give them no food of thought, but rise above the falseness through the power of His love. As you continue to be an open channel for God's love to flow through, you are held in the warmth and glow of His essence that gives you the light of understanding to know the truth that sets you free from the distortions that appear to be real, but are made from those who know not the true reality of their being, but will, at their own pace, awaken to the full realization of their godhood.
I know that
Alabama, good evening, my beloveds. It is indeed a pleasure to sit with you in this circle of your love, your circle of light that you bring to this room. Let us draw near to the heart of God and His love as we listen to the words that flow through this mouth to bring about a greater understanding, or just to remind you of that which you already know. It is a beautiful experience to experience life as it truly is, to experience God's love, and to know the fullness of His bounty that He continually gives to all of His creations. Realize within yourself, my beloveds, that there is no shortage of anything, and there is definitely no shortage of love. When we expect love from others on the physical plane and do not receive that which we expect, we are dealing with the illusions of the physical plane. For to really know love is to go within yourself, to the heart of God, and bring it forth outward to the physical plane and share it with others. Try not to reach out to discover the things of life that you desire, and there is no greater thing to desire than divine love. It is such a strong drive within you that brings you home, this desire to know the Father's love, to feel his love, to be in the warmth of his greatness, and to feel that he loves you, and to know that he loves you. My beloveds, do go within. Take the opportunity to be still within the depths of your being and know the Father and his love for you. For I tell you, nothing in the physical will come near to measuring up to God's love. But to truly know it, you must first bring it from within out, and then you can know it in the outer by sharing it with others and being an open channel for his love to flow through. There is no greater subject that I can speak to you than God's love. There is nothing in the universe but God's love, for all is created from his love. It is God's love for his creations and his understanding of love that brought you into being and all that you see. It is his love and the desire to share his love that he continually creates and recreates life in the fullness of himself. As you raise your consciousness, be much more aware that his presence is within you, that whenever you breathe, you are breathing in God's love. For I tell you, it is much more than oxygen that you breathe. It is much more that feeds your body, that feeds your mind, and feeds your soul. It is the essence of life, God's love, that feeds and sustains you. When you continue to remember this and continue to abide in God's love by allowing yourself to be a channel for his love to flow through continuously, then you are walking the path of light, and you are holding the hand of the Father, the Creator of all life. As you walk this path, holding his hand, knowing his love, then you can share it with many others who know it not. When you know his love and are continually abiding in his love, you are a fountain of life and light that others can feed from. For there are many on your plane that know not God's love, that know not that they should look within themselves instead of looking without. And if you allow yourself to be the channel for God to manifest through, He can say the right words, or just be the beautiful being that He is through you to many, many who walk the path on these dim and dark realms of your physical plane. There are many on the invisible realms also who watch your physical plane and watch you as you go about walking your path, and they are influenced, can be influenced by your ability to love and to let God's love flow through you, if they are open. And I tell you that there are many, many on the dark rounds, and there are always some who are getting ready to open up for help, to reach out for the light of understanding. And all that they know is the outer part of life. And if they can see the love of God shining through you, if they can see the beauty of all of creation, or can just get a glimpse of it, it is a beacon for them, and they can find their way home. When those who move in darkness and dimness begin to awaken, they need just a little of the light to show them the truth. And if they are ready, they can then find the light and the love of God that dwells within them. It is a wonderful and beautiful thing to know God's love and to abide in it, to keep your thoughts attuned to the thought of God's love, to allow your essence to be one with Him even in thought. You are always one with Him, my dear ones, but you do have the choice to think amiss. You do have the choice to think and be caught up in the illusions of this plane for a little while and miss the mark. This God does not condemn you for. He continues to love you no matter what. He continues to love all of His creation, for to withdraw His love from His creation would be to withdraw life from His creation, and that they would not exist. And this has never happened, and it will never happen. I would ask you to consider these things tonight that you have heard, to consider them not just from the surface point of the words and the language, but to go within yourself, in the quietness of yourself, and allow the understanding of this divine love to be in your consciousness. When you raise your consciousness to the level of God's love and hold it there, then you are manifesting the Father in the physical. You're manifesting His love, and those who are around you will know and will see God shining through you. When one that is popular on your plane, that becomes a star, as you would say, it is truly the essence of God's love that is shining through, no matter what they are portraying. It is God's love that is seen. You say it in many ways. You say this one has the ability, the magnetism, or whatever you do to describe it, to be famous, to be a star, to be popular. But I tell you, my dear ones, it is the love of God that is shining through, that is seen by those who are hungry for his love, and they reach out to this individual, or to the music that they write, or to the poetry, or whatever it is that they are expressing, and they try to find it in the outer. And it is a reminder of that which is within them. And to hear his love expressed in the outer is good, but to know his love, each must go within themselves. Are there questions that you would ask this evening?
Well, I don't quite know how to word this, but last evening I was playing with my grandchild, and I saw not only the child, but I think I saw the entity in that child, and there was so much love between the two of us. I had to hug the child and the entity, and I just couldn't let go. Why is it that I guess I personally need the physical touch to send love?
Yes, I understand. When we have not been used to going within and have not found that inner awareness of the Father's presence, then it is easier for us to find it in the innocence of children and the beauty of the babies and the children. It is easy to look to others who are shining brightly with God's love. But there will come a time, my dear one, when you will find it within yourself. And to be able to find it within yourself, you must learn to know yourself. You must learn to turn loose of all the negatives that most on your plane hold for themselves. You have been conditioned as a whole to not love yourself, to condemn yourself, to feel guilty and unworthy. And this has to be overcome. These things that are drilled within you over and over, especially when you are vulnerable as a child, are buried there in your subconscious, and they have to be removed and replaced with the understanding. And as you can learn to love yourself, and love yourself as you love God, because they are the same, then you will be able to love others, no matter what they appear to be doing, no matter what they are manifesting in the physical. You will be able to look beyond this and see the God within them. And to see God within an individual is to raise that individual, whether they are conscious of it or not. It is a very beautiful experience to be able to look at those who are in darkness and are portraying darkness, and to see God within them. And when you do this, this sparks a light within them. And if they are open in the least degree, they will be aware on some level and be able to eventually bring it to their conscious awareness. I tell you, you must not look for results when you send love to others or when you see God within them, but to know that you have seen the God and God's love within them, and to release it to God. To release is to turn loose, is to let go, and not expect anything of the outer, but to know that when the season is right for that individual, when their time has come, they will awaken, they will know God, and they will know God's love. No one will be lost. All will awaken. No matter how far they have gone down, they will return to the Father's heart, to their home. Are there other questions this evening?
I have a question. A lot of the times when we're talking about releasing something like either fear or anger or something like that, it's hard to tell the difference, at least for me, how to let go of it and not become indifferent to those things. I find it very difficult to just say I'm letting go without seeming to myself like I'm being indifferent.
Yes, it is to some on your plane, it would seem to be being cold and indifferent when you release to God. But when you know within yourself that God is the creator of all that is, and that God has the wisdom to know what is the best for this one, and when you send them God's love, unlabeled, and release them to God, you can do no wrong in this. It is not being indifferent. It is knowing the truth. It is understanding that if God wants to use you as an instrument to talk to this one, then you will know within your heart what to say. And if not, then send them love and know that God's love is there if they choose to use it, if they choose to allow it to enter their heart. It is there for them to have. But if not, it is their choice. It is their free will. And it is your free will, my dear one, to know the truth, that you can never be indifferent when you send God's love to one of his children and release them to him. There are many things that the individuals on this plane have come to experience, and some of them seems to be bad by the appearance and your judgment that you make, and you would have them, you would want to lift them up and for them to be happy and to not hurt. But my dear one, this may be what they have come to experience. This may be what they need for their soul's growth, and it may be the only way that they can awaken is to continue to have the pain, continue to walk in darkness until their time is right, until they are ready to awaken. And no one, not even God, can say when anyone's time is ready. Does this help your understanding? Are there other questions this evening? I would encourage you to consider this class tonight and to give it much thought, for it is the greatest of all of life, is love, because life itself is made of love. God is love, and life is God. You are life, and you are God. You are love. And when you recognize this and cease to identify with the falseness of life, when you identify with anything save divine love, then it is illusion. And when you awaken to the understanding that it is all right for you to love yourself, it is all right for you to identify with God's love and His child, knowing that you are His creation, and accepting this in the fullness of your understanding. As you do this, you come home to the heart of God, where you belong, and all is well. You are His beloved children, and as you understand this, and as you allow His love to be your conscious awareness and to live His love, then you are identifying with the true reality of your being. You are knowing the truth, and the truth is setting you free. God bless you, my dear ones, and good evening. As we hold hands, let us think of ourselves coming together in love, coming together in the conscious awareness of God's love, and let His love flow around this circle and build up in momentum to fill this room, to spread over this city, to cover this planet, and let His love permeate every fiber of your being on all dimensions. And let us this week become more acquainted with the reality of our being, that is God's love. Let us see it going ahead of us into this week, into our every thought, word, and deed. Let us see God's love flowing from us like a fountain, a beautiful fountain that is covering this planet and going to all His creations in the whole of the universe.
And the theoretic Sean.
Oh, sure. Yes.
How for that he got the usage across as to what he needed to say. And really was the reason why I had to get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain classes that when you're getting ready to do certain classes, you notice. I always show up, but that's my intuition tells me, get there. It's like something, it's just on and on. You need to go. You need to go. And it's certain one of his classes, and it means it's something that I need to hear each time. And it may be something that I may be on over or wrestling with mentally. But when I come and I hear it, then I hear my answer. I needed to hear it. The definite way of answering. Although I didn't answer what I needed to hear each time. What it is, if I'm really been mentally working with something or asking for clarification or whatever it is, if he's going to say it that night, it's something that makes him get out here.
I guess we're all in our right place, aren't we?
Well, you told me that the first time I came, I told you that, well, it was craziness going on for me to get down here. But I've been out of town, and, but tonight I just felt that overwhelming courage. It started about 5:30. Never gave it any thought all day, but 5:30.
Don, you
I call that non-calling everybody.
Oh, yeah. I know. Well,
And I started thinking,
I wonder about that because I find like that you. Well, when I do that, it's the same thing. One night, I hadn't seen this lady in 2 or 3 years, and I was telling Bill about her. And our word was talking. Someone opened. We were all in meditation, and someone opened the door. They came in and sat back there. We didn't know who it was. And then when I woke up, I opened my eyes, I look at them and say, well, what are you doing here? I was just talking about you. And I hadn't seen that lady in 3 years. I don't think she's been here since. In fact, for some other reason that night she came in and she sat back there. And I have not seen her since, but I had told Bill about her before Don Alloway had gotten started. I was just telling him about her. And all of a sudden up to Cleveland, she had the strangest look on her face. It was real strange that night.
we make connections on other dimensions, other levels. Yeah. And
I hadn't seen her saw it. Couldn't figure out where she came from. But why she gave her the glass and it wasn't in. She said she hadn't been here before.
well, there's part of her that knew.
I had told myself that I was going to become in this way of state. And then I had very little sleep last night.
I was real sick, and then I decided, well, I'm too tired to go tonight. I'm just going to go some, but I had such a terrible day. I need to go tonight. And so I'm glad that I came because the question I asked was on indifference. And it's one of the things I've been wrestling with for is that I'm not allowing myself to get angry, but at the same time, there are some things that are happening to me at work that more and more I feel like I'm being pushed to react. And it's even come down to the fact that today somebody said, well, they feel like you're very cold and indifferent to all things. I'm not cold and indifferent. I'm just not allowing myself to react in the way that most people do.
You're being true to yourself.
What do you think the feast about the sun?
Yes, you.
I guess if you get right down to it, you could say you really don't care. I mean,
It did not look at her.
But people don't understand it.
You care, but you don't care about the negative, you know.
yeah, not about that particular thing. You know, it's not there. It doesn't matter.
But see, this is one person that thrives on that.
And you get a lot of it. They try to draw you down. They draw something down.
And it was really come to. It's really frustrating her, and is it making her even?
So whenever you get this, you can understand that you still need it, and you haven't cleared it up, enough within yourself.
Right.
And you need more practice. And thank them and send them love for giving you opportunity to practice. When you do that, when you're grateful for what you get like that, and it seems like that's crazy to be grateful for all the garbage that you're getting, but when you understand that everything that comes into your life you need that experience.
That book that you recommended that I got the last time we were here, Sons of
Sons of God,
God, was wonderful.
yes, it is. It's such a beautiful example of that. She was destitute almost, and she continued to be grateful. And that she ascended.
That is awesome.
Did you read the book yet?
No, just the thought of it's awesome.
Yeah. It's a beautiful, beautiful story. And I sold all I had that night, I think, but I mentioned it. but I'll order some more for this next month. It'd be a good gift to give to someone who's in the understanding. But there are other things that you can give. The Prophet, for example, is a classic in itself. And,
What is it about?
well, it's written by Khalil Gibran, and he came from Lebanon and lived in New York. But he wrote this book when he was 16, and it has the wisdom of life within it. He talks on different subjects. It starts out by saying the ship has come to bear him back to the isle of his birth, and all the people in the village gathered to ask him of his wisdom before he left, and they asked him about different subjects. The first one was love, I think, and the next one was marriage and different subjects, and each one he has something tremendous and beautiful to say about. It took him 5 years to translate it into English, and his mistress that he lived with wrote a book about him, and it's a beautiful experience. He's written many books, but The Prophet is the one that I like the most. And Emmett Fox has written Sermon on the Mount. That is a good book to give to people who are just coming away from Orthodox thinking, because he takes that text in the New Testament and describes it in metaphysical terms.
I like to get a bunch of them I found.
Yeah.
Or I like that. Yeah, I ordered. Are they hardbacks or softbacks?
It comes in hardback.
I bought that book and I read it, and I was telling my mother about it, and she said, "Oh, well, that's what we're doing in church right now. We're translating this." So I said, "Okay, I'll send it to you," and I sent it to her. But it was my father that picked it up and read it, and now he's just crazy. He's going around, he's telling everybody about it, and he was not really involved in church when Mother wanted, but he just fell in love with this book, and he read it. He just sat down and read it.
There are certain books that are like that, you know.
What do you think? This is the sermon, the Star
Oh, the Sherman.
Isn't
There may be one copy in there. I'll order some, but remember to get them, before Christmas or.
Do you have a copy of the other one?
Year of Our Gods.
No, I ordered it, but it didn't come in. But I'll order it again.
So I looked for one. This was in
Yeah.
a couple places.
She's written in about 7 or 8 books, but that was the first one that she wrote, and that she told too much about the Mormon church, and so they kicked her out of the church. And that experience of she had put her whole self into the church, see, and that experience of being separated from church helped her to ascend, as she has said it. She and Christine Mercier live on the higher dimensions and still maintain a physical body on the physical plane. And they work with people that are ready.
There is one other question I have pertaining to those things that you fear.
That you fear?
Yeah. How do you face them without getting lost in it?
How do you face them? Well, you first understand that they are not true. Any fear is illusion. And so you take love and the understanding of love and bring it into that situation. And this little book called The Greatest Thing in the World, you have that?
Yeah.
Go back and read that over and incorporate that into the situation, because you can.
Okay, because I find it a lot of times, say for example,
one of the teachings is that you don't suppress anything because it just comes back and bites you later on.
Yeah.
And by not suppressing it, and it's almost a tangible thing a lot of the times, and pushing it away is suppressing it, but yet at the same time letting yourself experiencing it without.
Well, as for divine light, Elohim told us when you need help, ask for light to fill your mind, divine light. He said when you're reading a book and you don't understand it, well, ask for light in and around the words. And if you ask for light and then disassociate yourself from the emotional part of the subject and let the light come through and see the truth, then it'll be there.
And that works. That works. That sounds fantastic.
It does work.
I thought of it that way.
But you have to disassociate the emotional part, see, and set it aside and kind of set your little self aside and look through the eyes of the higher self and allow divine love to show you the way.
Well, after my appointment, which I has been working on getting over some of that, and I found that I was doing it, going to my higher self and looking at it through that, but all of a sudden, I was back in my little self, and it just...
Well, Annalise Karen wrote several books, and in one of them she said that when you reach that state, you will fluctuate, see. You'll be in the higher self, and then you'll drop back down and go back up until you are able to maintain that all the time. And it sometimes takes several lifetimes to be able to do that.
Oh, gosh, I thought you used to take several weeks. I'm going to say several weeks.
It's up to you.
Not 3 more lifetimes.
It's not up to anybody else, but it's up to you.
I thought it was something we could cure right away.
It doesn't, it doesn't matter because you're getting better all the time.
Oh, yeah, you can't get worse.
Yeah, you're getting better. And you're seeing more light. You're seeing more, see? And if you're working at it, that is.
Yeah. But, you just, like she said, sometimes you just get, all of a sudden, you're shifting. I mean, you wake up that morning, you're feeling great, everything's fantastic. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it's like a watch goes off. Okay, we're going to plunge you into the depths with all here. And you should not be messing. Yeah.
You do that to yourself.
Exactly. I mean, that is so bad. It's terrible. And it takes you maybe 2 hours to get yourself straightened back up to where you are.
And the art of it, you're going to get it in your next class, in the little red book.
All right.
They all know about that. She'll have a 3rd class in self-awareness next week.
And I feel like I'm at a candy store looking in the window. You can't touch any of this stuff. The little red book from Curacao, huh?
Yeah.
Great.
It will.
I can't wait.
Yes, you can.
But you have to be very faithful with it. I found that out. Can't be lax with it.
Yeah, it's be continuous with it. And read it over and over. Emmett Fox has such a beautiful way of expressing things. It's such a simple way.